Hello bookish people, thank you for stopping by to watch this video. Today I'm going to be going over my quarterly stats and just do kind of a check-in of where I am in my reading for the first 3 months out of the year. So this is the first kind of quarterly stats check-in I've done before, so just bear with me because it is a little bit of a learning curve. I don't really know how I'm laying out this video, but we're just going to go in it and see how it is. So I have a few different things that I use to kind of keep track of my reads, books, and everything else. I have a notebook that I keep my 24 books of 2024 in and my 12 books recommended by 12 friends, and I have all of the information on those books, and if I've read them, I highlight them and it helps me keep track of them. Then I also have my Always Fully Booked, a book lover's planner that I have by Little Inklings. I got this. She has a Instagram account that you can find this at, and I will leave the link down below. This one is undated, so you can kind of make it your own and figure out how you want to date it or how you want to plan it, and it just helps so much with me keeping up with posting on YouTube, on Patreon, on Instagram, and keeping track of my books, how much I'm spending, and so much more is included in this, and you can see more about it when I do my monthly reset vlog and everything. And then I also use StoryGraph on my phone, which is kind of like Goodreads, but it's just an app where you can keep up with your books. It helps you though keep up with a little bit more than Goodreads does. It helps you keep track of if you listen to it on audio, if you read it physically, or through an ebook. It helps you separate what kind of books you're reading, what genres they're in, how many pages, your ratings of them, and kind of like what kind of characteristics the books have. Is it dark? Is it thrilling? Is it adventurous? Is it funny? So there's so much on StoryGraph, and I personally love using that app, especially when I'm trying to do check-ins like these. So first I'm going to use my notebook and go over all the books that I've read so far that are on my 24 books of 2024 list and my 12 books recommended by 12 friends. So I've read 7 out of my 24 books of 2024, and I'm pretty much on track right now. So you're supposed to read 2 a month, and so I've read 2 for March and 1 so far for April, and some of these I read more than 2 in a month, but these are just all the books that I've had and just really want to get to at some point this year. So the ones that I've read are The Fury by Alex Michaelides, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, Powerless by Lauren Roberts, House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, Layla by Colleen Hoover, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, and Flawless by Elise Silver. I've fallen a little bit behind on my 12 books recommended by 12 friends. I've only read 2, and at this point I should have read 3 and be in the middle of my 4th one or reading my 4th one. But we still have plenty of the year to go, so I'm not gonna worry about it because I read the first 2 pretty quickly, so I'm sure I will get to the rest of them at some point. But the first one that I've read was The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. That one was recommended to me by my friend Elizabeth over at Little Life of Books, and I also read A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, and that was recommended to me by my friend Liv over at Liv's Library. Okay, now we're gonna look in my book journal and get caught up. My favorite thing about these journals is that every 3 months they have a sheet at the very end that helps you with your reading wrap-up, and it has a quarterly check-in at the back, and it has a little bit more than just, you know, your necessary stats like I get from StoryGraph. So let's go ahead and go through this. So some of my standout reads for the year so far have been Forged by Magic by Jenna Wolfhart, House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, My Lucky Charm by Courtney Walsh, and Layla by Colleen Hoover. Some of my current loves for the past few months are my current author that I'm absolutely obsessed with is Jenna Wolfhart. She writes the Forged in Fable series. I've read Forged by Magic and Brewed in Magic, and she has Mind in Magic coming out soon. My favorite characters have been Talia and Lucy from House in the Cerulean Sea, Rivlin by Forged by Magic, Freya in A Fate Inked in Blood, and Nathan in the cheat sheet. Some TV shows that I've been obsessed with have been Deal or No Deal Island, which you can stream on Peacock. I absolutely love it. It's kind of a show that's going on right now, so every new episode comes out each Tuesday. I've also been obsessed with Below Deck, specifically Below Deck Mediterranean. I kind of went on a Below Deck binge, and I watched all of the regular Below Deck series, and then I've been working my way through Below Deck Mediterranean, which I'm almost done with, and there are a few others that you can do, like Below Deck Australia, and Below Deck with like traveling, I think sailors and stuff. So we'll see if I get to those. And also Yellowstone, which again, Elizabeth recommended to me, and I'm absolutely loving that show and just taking my time with it. My favorite movie so far, which I literally just watched last night, is Lord of the Rings, the first one, The Fellowship of the Ring. I have never watched Lord of the Rings in my life, and I know that's a shock, but I never have, and Liv introduced me and like finally got me into watching the movies, and it's now my favorite movie of all time. I don't see anything ever topping it. Some of my favorite music that I've been listening to is Epic the Musical, which is a series of Greek mythology, following the Odyssey and the Iliad and just Odysseus through his journey, and this guy named Jay, I think his name is Jay Herons. I don't know if that's exactly how you say it, but he releases music every now and then, and it's almost like a musical, but there's no actual musical to follow. I also like to listen to Four Seasons by Vivaldi, the composer. I just love it this time of year. I think it's the perfect time and the perfect ambiance, and it's just something I always find myself listening to. I've also been listening to a lot of 1989 by Taylor Swift, a lot of Paramore. I find myself listening to the older albums of Paramore right now just because they're a jam, and why not? And I've also been listening to a lot of Forrest Frank. He is a Christian singer that I've just recently found, and he does some rap, and I absolutely love it, and it just brightens my day to listen to it. And my favorite place that I've visited so far has been Liv's house. So yeah, I also been visiting the library. So I would say those are my two favorite places right now. So as of right now, I have read 32 books out of my goal of 75 books this year. I have read a total of 10,318 pages. I've read 21 physical books, 8 ebooks, and 3 audiobooks. The amount of audiobooks does not include the audiobooks that I've listened to while I was reading the print books, but those are the books that I've listened to just audio for. And I've done 1 reread, and I've had no DNFs, which is really good. A breakdown of the genres that I've read so far: I've read 8 thrillers, 7 romances, 5 young adult fantasies, 3 adult fantasies, 3 cozy fantasies, 2 young adult books, 1 manga, 1 fiction, and 1 Christian inspiration. Some memorable moments so far this year have been watching Lord of the Rings for the first time, seeing my friends Elizabeth and Rachel meet up and just get to hang out together. It makes me so happy. Just getting to feel the Holy Spirit moving in me again. I feel like I really haven't felt that in a long time, and just feeling like I'm getting my life back, and just realizing, like, understanding who I am and growing into who I want to be this year. Finding out that Elizabeth is pregnant and that she's having a baby boy literally brings me so much joy. My friend Frank and Beck, they had a baby, their 3rd baby girl, Murphy Marie. She was born in January, so getting to like watch her grow has been just amazing. Becoming a rep for Novel Wicks, which is a bookish candle company, I have absolutely loved it. I never thought that I would be a rep for anybody. Like, I never saw myself being like people wanting me to do that, but the fact that it has, you know, happened twice now has just really inspired me to continue doing what I do. Starting weekly vlogs, which I have been so nervous about, but it's been so rewarding and just so nice and easy and better than I thought it would be. And then just visiting the library more often. I feel like I never really visited the library. I did a lot when I was in middle school and a little bit in high school, but I just wasn't really in tune with what was like popular with books back then. So kind of getting into what is popular now and knowing what I want to read and what I like to read, being able to go to the library and save money on books has just been so nice. So some progress that I have made with my goals so far, I've been leaning more into my cozy hobbies, letting myself watch movies or TV if I want to, letting myself diamond paint and listen to an audiobook instead of physically reading, or playing games on my computer or hanging out with friends, just letting myself learn that I don't have to be reading 24/7. I've also been increasing my water intake, which is really good, and just learning that I do not need a Diet Coke every single day just because I love them, maybe one a week, okay? I've been making good grades in school, and I wanted school to become my top priority this year because I kind of slacked off a little last year, and I'm just reprioritizing my life, and that has been a lot of good progress made. Also, I've been planning out the rest of my school year and the rest of my school years. Hopefully I'll be done after 2, and just kind of starting to get in that process of, okay, it's coming down to the wire, and this is what I have to do in order to make sure that I, you know, graduate and accomplish everything I'm wanting to. And I'm just trying to find the joys in every day, you know. I think it's a normal and perfectly fine thing to feel sad sometimes, or to not be happy, and, you know, be mad or angry or sad, but I have been really training myself to find little things that make me happy, or find little joys in the day, and not let every bad thing get me down. And books that I want to read in the next quarter include The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, Juniper Bean Resorts to Murder, The Happy Ever After Playlist, The Younger Wife, A Dawn of Onyx, and Foxglove by Adeline Grace. So now we're going to get into my stats on Goodreads. And like I said earlier, I have read a total of 32 books out of my 75 books goal. I've read 10,318 pages. Some of the keywords that are included in all of the books that I've been reading are emotional, tense, funny, mysterious, hopeful, relaxing, adventurous, lighthearted, dark, reflective, sad, and informative. For the pacing of my reads, I read 45% of my books fast and 55% of them medium or average. For page number, 59% of the books I've read have been between 300 to 499 pages. 34% of them have been less than 300 pages, and 6% of them have been 500 plus pages. 97% of the books I've read have been fiction, and 3% have been nonfiction. And like I said, the genres that I've read so far have been thriller, romance, young adult fantasy, fantasy, cozy fantasy, young adult, manga, fiction, and Christian nonfiction. Out of the books that I've read, 66% have been print books. They are physical books. 25% have been digital or ebooks, and 9% have been audiobooks. My most read authors so far, each with 2 books that I've read this year, have been Rebecca Ross and Jenna Wolfhart. I read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, which is the sequel to Divine Rivals, and I also read Dreams Lie Beneath. And for Jenna Wolfhart, I read Forged by Magic and Brood in Magic. And so far, my star ratings for this year have been 1 1-star read, 1 2-star read, 1 2.5-star read, 3 3-star read, 1 3.5 reads, 7 4-star reads, 3 4.5 reads, and 15 5-star reads. So it's been a really good few months so far, and my average rating is 4.2 stars. So that is all the statistics that I have for you and how my reading is going so far. I really cannot complain. I feel like last year I had such a great year of reading because I was getting so many recommendations and like catching up with what I've been missing out on since coming back to BookTube. And now that I'm getting in the swing of things, it's a little bit easier, and I've kind of picked up on what I like and what I enjoy to read, and it's just been so amazing so far. But thank you guys so much for staying and watching this video. If you have stayed until the end, leave an emoji that has to deal with statistics somehow. I think we have some pie charts, some bar graphs, anything like that that show, you know, that it's a stat. But again, thank you so much. I could not do BookTube without you guys, and I just enjoy it so thoroughly, and I'm so very thankful for all of you, and I will see you all in my next video.